Welcome to Aurelius Whitlock's Murder Museum. I just know that something is going on, and someone in this school is murdering hamsters.
Hamsters, plural?
He looks both ways and he's like, forget I said that.
Da-da-da-da. Wow. Okay. I nod and I'll back away. I'm gonna go talk to. Let's go Newell. I'll give Sierra some time to calm down, collect herself.
Newell was in the crowd that was listening to this
Oh yeah,
obituary of sorts.
he's a goodie.
What do you call that? What do you call what people say at funerals?
A eulogy.
Eulogy. Yeah, he's here for this hamster eulogy. And actually, it looks like a few of them are in the process of going outside with a shoebox, and
They're gonna bury the body before I have time to dissect it.
they're 100% going to bury this hamster. In fact, Newell is the one carrying it. He volunteered, and everyone else is solemnly watching him take the class pet out of the room.
Okay.
There's an outdoor-facing room. Sorry, a door that goes directly outside on the north side of the classroom.
So I'll have to wait till after this funeral to question these people.
Oh, I mean, it's easy enough if you're fine. It's not really an official funeral. It's not like they're marching in a funeral march. It's more just people surrounding him as he takes out this box.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Well, in the moments while I'm waiting to zoom in, I do want to go check the trash can and see if there's any. This is so gross. Regurgitated bits of something that the hamster might have tried to choke up in his last moments.
Fascinating. Curious. You go back to the trash can, which at this point is fairly abandoned. No one's nearby the door now. And you can't find any little pellets or anything like that.
Okay, fair.
But as you're rooting around, these bits of card... I keep on forgetting construction paper is called these crumpled up construction paper. There's a lot of them. And you open up one of them. And it has a message spelled out in like a magazine serial killer type collage.
What?
Yeah, and it says thief on one of them.
What is this?
Another red one says, I'm watching you, but it's not quite finished. It looks like it's going to say, I'm watching you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, there's a serial killer loose in 4th grade. What?
So the general vibe is thief, I'm watching you, and no one likes you.
Okay, so oh my gosh. Thief, I'm watching you, no one likes you. Okay, this could be Lucian trying to get back at Newell or at Jenny who tattled on him. Thief, because Newell had the hamster next. Interesting. Okay. Or did someone else want to play with the hamster? Interesting. Man, someone. Oh, I'd be scared to have these kids in my class. Okay. Wow.
It wouldn't be much of a murder mystery if everyone was tame and nice and not interesting.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was me.
Oh, oops. Sorry.
Whoopsie. Okay. Wow. I was not expecting to have a threatening note in this, but here we go. Oh, okay. So on that note, can I find in the trash can the magazine that it was taken from? That the letters were taken out of?
No, actually, there are no magazines in there, but you do know somewhere where there's scrap paper. It's the craft zone, which is in the northeast corner of the room.
Okay. I will go check on that later. I do want to talk to Newell and Sierra first, though. So I'll go talk to Newell. after I assume he's if he's done
Yeah, they're
burying it.
not burying it deep, but you do kind of glance outside and you can see just outside the room, they're, just putting a little bit of dirt on top of it. Like
Okay,
no one seems to want to go through the trouble of actually digging a hole.
gotcha. So I could exhume it later. That's good to know. Okay.
Grave robbers, hamster edition.
All right, Newell. Okay, Newell. I have a couple questions for you, sir.
Yeah,
Uh,
of course.
I heard that you were the last one to play with Hamlet before he tragically passed away.
Yeah, it was a real honor.
Real honor. Interesting. Did he seem all right when you were playing with him?
Yeah, he seemed great. In fact, he was way more friendly than usual. He was just like really nice. And he was like, I we're not really supposed to take him out of the cage, but I like took him out of the cage, and he was like running around my hands and kind of like nibbling on my fingers. It was very cute.
So ooh, nibbling on your fingers. Okay, okay. Um, and then you put him back in the cage when you were done,
Of course.
and you 100% locked it.
Yeah. No, of course. I'm very. My parents say I'm very detail oriented, and I think that means that I do things correct.
Newell. Okay. Um, follow-up question. Is after you put him away, no one else played with him? You didn't see anyone else take him out of the cage?
Um, I I didn't really notice for a while there. It was just me and Jenny in the classroom. And I was mostly just doing crafts, so I wasn't really watching. But I think I probably would have noticed if someone was playing with him. So,
Okay.
um, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. A follow-up question. I found this Tupperware by the hamster cage. Do you know who it belongs to? You're a detail-oriented guy.
Um, well, I can tell who it doesn't belong to.
Oh,
That's easy.
who doesn't it belong to?
Me.
Oh, okay.
And and also, it doesn't belong to Lucian, and it doesn't belong to Sierra. We all get school lunch, so we wouldn't have to bring a Tupperware.
Oh, well observed, Newell. Okay. Um, another question for you. Uh, do you know what happened to your 80? I
He
hold up
looks
the
at it,
bean.
and he he looks shocked, like about as shocked as when the hamster body was found, and he uses large words like besmirched. And he goes up there and he like feels where the beans used to be, and he's like, it was him, wasn't it?
I don't know. Why, who? Him being who?
You know who.
Lucian?
Yeah, he's a jerkwad.
You don't seem to you don't get along with Lucian. It
And
seems
you
like
do.
I'm just here for the conversation.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
No. Was he ever outright mean to you? I.e., did he ever leave you a threatening note?
He kind of cocks his head at the threatening note. He's like, he's just really mean. Like, he takes stuff and he plays with things he's not supposed to, and he's downright cruel to Hamlet.
Cruel to Hamlet. Okay. In what way?
Would you ever glue a hamster to a hamster wheel?
That is true. That is pretty messed up. Dang. Okay. Final question. Have you by any chance read this pamphlet? Flash in the pamphlet.
It's like, yeah, everyone who plays with Hamlet is supposed to. Everyone in the class was supposed to. Of course I know it.
Okay, then.
And his eyes get wide when he says that, and he glances down at his stupid 30 made with 75 beans, and he looks up at you. He's like, you don't think.
Tell me what I don't think, Newell.
He starts hyperventilating just a little bit. He's like, "Am I holding the murder weapon?"
Oh, so you're aware of what hamsters are allergic, deathly, or allergic to slash can't digest,
Yes, of course.
which is
I'm detail oriented.
but
Raw beans,
raw
synthetic
beans.
sugars, anything with caffeine, celery, potato. I have it memorized.
Okay, interesting. But you're short-sighted. Da-na-na-na.
It's like,
Okay.
I can read, and I'm not. And he's like, if I get things really close, and he actually demonstrates, he takes a book and he holds it like 2 inches away from his face. And he reads it out loud to you. So he like definitely can read. He's definitely pretty blind. Like this kid needs glasses
Gotcha.
for sure. But he at least saw facts to you about the pamphlet, so he's definitely read this.
So he has read it. So Jenny has read it. Newell has read it. Lucian probably has not read it. One last thing. I show him the threatening note. Really up close to his face. Do you recognize this?
He like squints and he's like, "No."
Okay. Cool. Then at this point I say don't leave town. Don't leave the classroom.
Catchphrase.
Okay. I'm gonna go find Sierra now. Oh.
Just a curious point of order. He says no, and you put down the note like just on his desk or something. Oh, actually, no. You would probably hold on to it, but he's like, "Oh, okay, but can I see it?"
Okay.
And he asks you for it.
I give it to him.
He kind of looks at it. He's like, "Huh," and he crumples it up.
What did you at, sir?
Oh, just huh.
What?
It's a huh thing.
What?
He walks over to the trash can and he throws it away. And he shrugs.
I go grab it out. I uncrumple it. I look at this thing again, I guess.
This is the one that just says in big block letters, thief.
Okay. Oh, maybe he was using the magazine and he's worried about incriminating evidence again. Is there anything iconic about the way this is spelled or the way it's cut out?
It's spelled correctly, I before E, which is impressive.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the letters, here's what's curious. Although it's kind of, got this collage, ransom note vibe, each of the letters are cut into almost perfect squares and almost the same size each, despite their different fonts and such. It's like kerning, the spacing between letters is very, very well. It's surprisingly nice for like a murder note.
Okay. Wow. Did Miss Ackroyd do this? Maybe there's a stamp. Okay. Almost perfect. I'll explore the craft zone in a second and see if there's any supplies that could be used to do that with. I am going to talk to Sierra if she is put together enough.
She is just barely, but yes.
Just barely holding it together. Okay, Sierra. So I was wondering exactly
Sniff.
when you last saw our poor friend Hamlet.
Just now before they put him in the shoebox.
Yes. When did you last see him alive?
she starts crying a little and she's like, I didn't even get to play with him. I didn't even get to play with him at recess. But I was his favorite.
What makes you say that?
Everyone knew it. And that's why he was going to be on my desk for my birthday.
Why was he your favorite? Did you play with him the most? Did you?
Yeah, I loved him the most. I played with him the most.
Did you?
The teacher said that he's my favorite. So I know it's true.
The teacher said, okay. During indoor recess, what did you do the whole time?
Like I said, I didn't play with Hamlet. The teacher, Miss A gave me a hall pass, and she told me to go to the teacher's lounge to grab her a Dr. Pepper.
Oh, caffeine is here now. Okay.
And she kinda looks around conspiratorially. You see her brighten up just a little bit. She says, "And she said I could grab one for me too if I did it."
Did you okay, 2 things. Did you, finish your Dr. Pepper? Did you drink your Dr. Pepper, and did she drink her Dr. Pepper?
Caffeine makes me jumpy, so I just drank a little bit, and she kind of walks over to her desk, and, uh, in her backpack's cup holder, she has a bottle of soda that is about half full.
Okay, that's a little more than a little.
Yeah, sometimes I go a little overboard.
Okay, so caffeine could have done it. Wow, so many possible murder weapons. And the backpack in question is kept in an open area, so possibly anyone could have grabbed it.
Uh, you're asking her that or asking me that?
Asking you that.
Me, Marcus.
Yes, just like in
Awesome.
the room, is it accessible?
Yes, but you get the feeling that in fact, she would be pretty open with the fact that she got back from the teacher's lounge just a minute or 2 before they all went outside,
Okay, so
and she probably put the soda here when they left for outside, so she almost certainly had the soda.
okay. And while you're in the hallway, Sierra, did you happen to see Lucian out there?
Mhm,
What was he
yeah,
what was he doing?
um, yeah, I saw him. He was exiting out of, Mr. Hawthorne's classroom.
Mm. Was this on the way to the teacher's lounge or the way back from the
The
teacher's
way
lounge?
back.
Way back. Okay.
And you would know that Mr. Hawthorne's classroom is in the same hallway, um, kind of kitty corner, pretty close. And she's like, I thought that that was pretty weird because like it was an empty classroom, and I don't even know how he got in there. But I just thought that maybe Miss A sent him there.
Oh, how did Lucian get in? Was it locked?
Are you asking? Or are you wondering?
No, I'm wondering.
Yeah.
I will ask him. I don't know if he'll tell me. Um, okay. Um, did he comment on your Dr. Peppers at all?
Um, no, actually, which was strange. I thought he would. I had two, so I thought he would like say one for me and like grab it from me, but no, he seemed pretty distracted.
Distracted with trying not to be seen or
He was like closing the door really slowly, and he was holding a book.
holding a book? Flashback. What book did he use to cover the writing on his desk?
It was a pretty generic book actually. It was like Charlotte's Web,
Okay.
I'll say.
So he's caught in a web of lies.
Ooh.
Okay. Interesting. Did Jenny notice what book? Jenny, did you know? Or sorry, Sierra, did you notice what book?
She is like, "Yeah, I think it was Charlotte's Web because I remember thinking that it was a book I really liked, and that Hamlet liked it too."
Burst into tears. Okay. Sorry, I won't take up too much more of your time, ma'am. But uh, I was wondering if you knew what happened to Newell's bean 80 craft.
80 beans. She looks at it and she's like, "No, that's weird.
Okay,
I mean, it looks like the beans were scratched off. That's like pretty weird.
that is
They
pretty
weren't like
weird.
just picked off."
Scratched off. Scratched off, not just picked off. Scratched off like human scratched it off, or like a hamster scratched it off.
She squints and you squint at it, and as you look close, yeah, it's little tiny scratch marks.
Okay, okay. So maybe whoever was playing with him or something didn't see him scratching it off. He ate it. They were supposed to be paying attention. They didn't, and then panicked. Saw that he was dead. Threw him in the trash. that could be Newell because he has bad eyesight, so he was far away from. Put the hamster down for a second. Didn't see that he. Oh, okay. Hmm. Um, one last thing, Sierra, do you recognize this threatening note?
She stares at it and she's like, I didn't play with crafts.
Oh,
She shrugs.
she's nonplussed as thief. Like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, she's
Cool.
like she just assumes it was for someone's art project. She doesn't have any concept of it being threatening. She just thinks someone spelled a word.
Okay, cool. Well, who do you think killed Ham? Or what do you think happened to Ham? I guess I.
You say kill, and she just like her face flushes white, and she's like, I wouldn't be surprised if Lucian was neglectful and it killed him.
Okay, so
I was gone from the classroom the whole time, so I knew that Hamlet was there when I left, and he was there when I came back, but I don't know what happened.
okay, so Sierra was gone almost the whole time. Okay. Here's a rewind. Before we went to music class, social studies, and everything, did anyone play with the hamster?
No, so the cage was not covered because morning is not nap time. Miss Ackroyd only covers the cage in the afternoon to try to
Okay.
get students to focus. So the hamster was there, and as far as you can recall, untouched by anyone.
Okay.
Um, although a lot of people glanced over at him when Sierra made her grand declaration. Um, when you all left the classroom, Miss Ackroyd walked with you all to the music room, which is down the hall around a
Mm-hmm.
corner, and she dropped you all off and left because that's where you were going to meet Mr. Hawthorne.
Okay.
So all the students were accounted for all the way
All the way.
to the music room.
Okay, so even though Jenny probably held the door open, she didn't have enough time to slip back, poison the hamster, and then run.
Oh yeah, so Jenny would have been holding the door open, but she also would have stayed with the group.
Okay, cool. All right, and then I do want to actually go talk to. Oh, well, but the craft. Okay, we'll go to the craft zone first.
Mhm.
So I'd like to go inspect the craft zone. I'm looking specifically for misplaced beans, and then also, any sort of paper that could or magazine that could have been used to make threatening notes or some sort of device to have made that.
Looking around here, no beans, nothing like that. You find the stack of magazines, flip through them. Yeah, these are definitely the magazines that those letters were cut out of. You look around, there are
Okay.
no punch stamps or anything like that. There are only scissors. So whoever would have cut out those letters had a, you know, uh,
Good,
attention to detail.
good scissors, like a certain Newell. Interesting. Okay. In this craft section, are there any displays of student work? Could I do some forensics on this? Can I try to match, or at least?
Yeah. I'll say this. Um, you, with your surprising amount of knowledge about these people you've never met before, that apparently comes with this simulation somehow. You know that Newell does origami,
Oh,
and
yes.
looking here, you notice a few things of origami, and it uses the same sort of thin cardstock, thin construction paper that you recognize from the trash can.
Okay, so maybe Newell did this to Lucian. Okay. I'm gonna pocket one of the magazines for interrogation purposes later.
Yeah.
Um any other any beans?
Nope.
Okay.
No beans.
Cool. Uh
And just to give you a visual picture of the classroom,
mhm.
like I've said before, South Side has the wall, counter, sink, hamster cage. Center of the room are tables or kind of desks that have cubby holes underneath them that are put in groups of 4 as little group tables.
Okay.
On the west side of the classroom is the teacher's desk and the teacher's armchair where she does group reading time and everyone sits on the carpet.
Okay.
On the east side of the classroom is the craft zone, the computer zone, and the trash can in the corner of the room because the door is on the southwest corner of the room. The door outside is on the northeast corner of the room, nearby the teacher's desk.
Okay. Okay.
I listed all of that off, and I'm actually not sure how much of that was relevant, but just so you have a mental picture. Some of it probably is.
That's an ugly drawing. I'll redraw that later. All right. One quick. So I'm gonna go by the trash can really quick and peek in. Do I see any spilled Dr. Pepper or remnants of celery?
No, 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 and no.
Okay, cool.
No leads there.
Then I'm going to go to Jenny.
Jenny.
Jenny. All right, Jenny. What can you tell me about?
Her legs are crossed. She's sitting at her desk and she's writing in her notebook. A brief glance, you can see her writing stuff like motive, no. Means yes. She is dialed in.
All right, Jenny. Investigator. The second greatest investigator in the 4th grade.
She harumphs to that.
What can you tell me about this Tupperware?
She squints and she's like, I mean, it's not mine.
Twist. Plot twist. Whose is it?
She gets closer and she sniffs the carrot of water and she's like, I know a few people in class have healthy parents. Oh, sorry, she had a nasally voice, not a high voice. A lot of people in class have healthy parents.
Yes, but you what kind of detective are you if you can't even narrow it down beyond that?
At that, she pouts and she scans the room and she's like, it could be Ben. She points at just a random kid. It's like, he's a health nut. It could be Miss Ackroyd. She eats veggies every day. And then she's like, or it could be Lucian if his family ever put him on a diet.
Oh, maybe Miss Ackroyd accidentally killed the hamster? Wouldn't that? Whoa. Because she could accidentally do it with the Dr. Pepper, or she can accidentally have done it with her celery, or maybe she hated the hamster this whole time. But she also would not have wanted to disrupt the class like that. Maybe she probably. Oh, okay. Jenny, do you recognize this note? I hold up the thief note.
She says, No, I don't recognize that, but I know that the only person doing crafts was. And her eyes glance over at Newell.
Okay.
She's like, curious. And I have a sneaking suspicion that another one of our classmates was in the middle of a theft this very day.
Who was that? And what theft?
A lady never tells.
What a detective does.
She's like, all I'm saying is that Miss Ackroyd was yelling very sternly at Lucian in the hallway. I was waiting at this door, she points over at the door that leads to outside, for at least 3 minutes while the two of them were shouting at each other in the hallway. And she glances over at the board, and you notice that where it says star students underlined in people's names, Lucian's been erased.
Oh, did Lucian steal the book? Was this shouting match about a stolen book?
She's like, I mean, I couldn't make out the words, but I'm making some assumptions here that when the teacher is getting that mad, I'm sure he was doing stealing. I'm just upset I wasn't the one who told her.
Fair. Okay. So maybe Lucian, it could have been the book, but did Lucian also steal something from Newell? Question mark. Okay. One last thing, Jenny. While Newell was crafting, while Sierra was gone, and Lucian was getting in trouble, what were you doing?
I was sitting here with my notebook.
Doing what?
She flips over a page and it says Lucian. And basically it's a list of crimes. It's like gluing hamster, possibly sneaking to through hallways, question mark. Like she does have like doodles and notes and stuff that imply that she could have been in here, as she said, just sitting at her desk.
Gotcha.
It's not verifiable proof,
Yeah.
but she does show you like notes, and it's not just like detective notes, it's also like doodles and stuff like that, as if she was sitting here drawing.
Gotcha. And that's all you did the whole time was just draw in your notebook? That seems pretty boring for indoor recess.
Observation is never boring to the investigatively inclined.
Interesting. Okay, fair.
The only thing that was boring about recess was waiting at the outside door and not being able to be the one to tattle on Lucian. That was a weird sentence. Basically, the vibe of her sentence was she was bored of holding the door open and she was upset she couldn't hear what they were talking about in the hallway.
Okay, wait, so did Miss Ackroyd stay with Lucian afterwards while the class went outside outdoor recess to reprimand him? Is that what?
The implication here, or what you kind of gather, is there were a few minutes, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, that teacher Miss A and Lucian were in the hallway, the door closed,
Gotcha.
while Jenny was in the room alone, holding the door.
Alone? Holding the other door?
Holding the door outside.
Okay.
And like, because of moral principle or some other reason, she says that she was still standing there holding the door.
Okay, and this was when everyone else was going to outdoor recess.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you would also be able to glean that at this point, Sierra and Newell would have gone outside.
Okay, cool. So she was alone in the classroom, potentially. Lucian also might have done that as well when he got back in, but would Miss Ackroyd let her eyes
She's
off
like,
him?
you know what? You're asking me so many questions. Do you just want a timetable?
Do you have a timetable?
Of course I do. She flips over another page and says 11:01.
Wow, okay.
And I'm not going to read it all in her voice, but she actually outlines when people were doing what.
Oh, okay.
11:01 to 11:03 about Lucian plays with hamster, glues hamster, Jenny tattles Miss Ackroyd, tells him to stop.
Okay.
11:05, Miss Ackroyd gives hall pass to Sierra to ostensibly go to the teacher's lounge. Miss A is on her laptop, and Newell begins playing with hamster.
Okay.
Around 11:10, Lucian asks teacher for hall paths and leaves room. Newell goes over to the crafts zone. Sierra is still gone.
Okay.
Around 11:13, teacher asks where did her keys go.
What?
Covers cage, goes out of classroom as Sierra gets back, and Sierra and Newell leave for recess. At 11:15, teacher follows a few seconds behind Lucian, who pouts his way outdoors.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I definitely need to talk to Miss Ackroyd again. She keeps showing up multiple times. So someone had stolen her keys. Okay. Thank you, Jenny. You've been incredibly helpful.
She slaps it closed and is like, not like it'll be that much help to you. Snark, snark.
Wow, okay. Thanks. Okay, cool. I am going to talk to Miss Ackroyd.
She is, what would she be doing at this point? She's sitting in her armchair at this point. So like, she's not at her teacher's desk like usual. She's just sitting in her armchair. She has her laptop in her lap, and she has her her head in her hand, and this is like the worst day of her life. She looks so done.
Hi, Miss Ackroyd.
Hello, Nathan.
I just had some questions for you. Uh,
Uh-huh.
First of all, I was wondering if this is your Tupperware.
Yes, Nathan, that is my Tupperware.
This might have nothing to do with anything, but do you mind me asking what exactly was in here?
Carrots.
Just carrots?
Just carrots.
You didn't, by any chance, bring celery today?
No, Nathan. I hate celery.
I have heard this tone of voice many times. Okay, so that's probably a dead end. Just carrots, I figured. But, can't hurt. I also heard that your keys were missing. Have you found those? What keys were they?
Yes, she steps over to her teacher's desk and opens up the drawer and pulls them out. And then she's kind of like, you can see her kind of like think better of it. Like, why did I just show a kid where I keep my keys? Tosses it back in, closes like, yes, I found them.
Did a certain student have them? Perhaps Lucian had them, and that's how he got into Mr. Hawthorne's room?
She looks over at the board where Lucian's name has been erased, and she says, that is a possibility.
Lucian stole keys. Do you know why he stole these keys?
I have a suspicion.
Can you tell me?
I don't like spreading gossip amongst my students.
All
that you need to know is that he will be disciplined fairly and justly, and it's really none of your concern.
Classic teacher answer.
Nathan, I have a lot of hamster funeral planning to do, so any other questions? I really do want to be helpful.
Okay.
I know that this is a hard day for all of us.
Yes, this is how I cope. So
we all have our own ways.
Do you know what happened to Newell's bean thing? I hold it. Maybe I took it from him, maybe I didn't. But if not, I point to it or I hold it up.
Mm-hmm. No, that doesn't seem very much like Newell to make a 30 on an 80 day. That doesn't seem very right.
Yeah.
How strange.
I'm sorry, this is a weird question, but did you by any chance already drink all your Dr. Pepper? Not a sponsor.
She cocks her head and she pulls from the side of her armchair an unopened Dr. Pepper.
Unopened. Okay.
Yeah, it's unopened. She's like, "Oh, you must have heard. Yes, I had Sierra. Listen, Nathan, I told Sierra that it was going to be a very special indoor recess, and in order to keep that promise, sometimes it doesn't seem fair in the moment, but I did offer, and I'm sorry for this, I did offer Sierra a Dr. Pepper from the teacher's lounge. Now, that is not something that I like to make a habit of doing, but you saw her. She was having a very rough day this morning because of rain, and there might be other extenuating circumstances in your classmates' lives that you don't even know about that can cause them to act in different ways in class."
Wow. That's fair. Okay.
And then it seems like she's getting a little soapboxy. She's like, "In fact, if there's one thing that I would have my students know, it's that sometimes it's life, and I don't want to say life isn't fair, but sometimes different people have different needs, and sometimes those different needs require different treatment. So, maybe it's not my choice to play favoritism. Maybe there are other reasons. Maybe I need to make sure everyone stays happy. Nathan, did you consider that maybe I'm doing the best that I can?"
Oh no! Panic! Thumbs up.
You just smile and nod. You're like, this is an adult talking to me, a child.
Oh no. I'm 10. I'm gonna go. Cool. I am going to now go back to Newell and Lucian are the ones I want to talk to now. So I'm gonna go to Newell first. All right, Newell. I tried playing it straight with you. I pull out the magazine from my back pocket, slap it down. Would you care to explain these perfectly straight cuts, almost as if someone who has had a lot of experience with, dare I say it, origami, has been cutting out a lot of these letters?
In answer to your question, no, I would not care to explain.
I'm gonna ask you again. Explain anyway. No, I'm not gonna ask, actually. I'm gonna demand.
Ooh, look at this fourth grader just put his foot down. Scary. Newell, yeah, gives in. He's like, yes, that was me. That was me.
How could you?
I already said Lucian's a jerkwad.
But
he's been taking my box tops for weeks.
that's how we got a star student?
And if the teacher isn't going to do anything to punish him, like, I mean, I didn't tell anyone about the box tops, but I just thought people would know because I never. Anyway, I just thought no one was going to do anything about it. So I thought maybe if I could give him some spooky notes, he would stop. But then I chickened out. I didn't do it. I threw him away.
When you threw him away, did you notice the dead hamster that you'd thrown them on top of?
He kind of scratched his head. He actually is like, wait. And so he walks over to the trash can with you. And it doesn't look like he loves reaching in the trash can, but he kind of does. And he's like, no, the hamster was here, right? He points to like kind of the area, the altitude that you found it. Basically, he points out this hamster was beneath even more junk than just his crumpled papers.
Oh, okay.
As if whoever threw it away, if that's what happened, tucked it under as if it wasn't supposed to be found. And only a person very specifically looking for a hamster would have found it.
Interesting. Okay.
So basically, he points out, he's like, no, I did not see that hamster when I threw away my creepy notes. And I'm sorry, but also, if you ever want to buy a creepy note, I think I'm pretty good at it. So it's actually a quarter for a full page. 2 pages I will do for 45 cents.
Okay.
And he gives you his entire business pitch.
Okay. I will hire him to actually make me a note that I will use at the end of this.
Wonderful. He yes. Okay. The camera pans away as you give him instructions.
Okay, cool. Oh, sorry. But before he goes, but you didn't end up giving the notes to Lucian. You ended up just throwing them away, all of them.
He shakes his head no. He's like, no.
And that's what you were doing during indoor recess when you were at the craft table?
I might be good at crafts, but it really does take a long time.
Oh, you can't do this from home? Oh no, or later.
No. I'm saying I took all recess after I played with it. I played with Hamlet until Lucian left the classroom, and then I knew that Lucian was gone, so I was like, "Oh, this is the perfect time." And so I went over to my business area and I started cutting notes for him because.
Okay.
But then I just realized I needed to get out of my system, and then I did, and then I threw him away.
Okay. Cool. You didn't by any chance know of anything else that Lucian had stolen?
No, I don't think so. I assume other things. It seems like it's kind of a part of his character.
Gotcha. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to talk to Lucian. Lucian feels the most suspicious. I'm just trying to determine if he could have aside, by the way, not just not saying this in front of Newell, but it seems like he had the most opportunity, or he had the character. But I don't know. Would he be a hamster killer? He does not seem to understand everything with the hamster. But Jenny had the opportunity with no one else in the classroom. Was she holding the door, or was she really murdering hamsters? Have I asked her about the 80 thing? If I haven't, I'm going to ask her.
I think you did.
Okay.
But yeah, I can't remember. So.
Okay. Well.
Are you going to Lucian or to her?
Quickly, I'm going to ask her about the 80 thing, just in case I didn't.
She basically says, "Oh, it doesn't seem very much like Newell to make a mistake like that."
Okay, cool. Sounds good. So nothing important. Right. We're gonna go to Lucian now.
Lucian at this point has with his pocket knife. It's not a big pocket knife. It's like one of those little tiny ones. So it's it's not that much sharper than a butter knife. It's not like this is a super dangerous thing that he has. But he's gone pretty far in this, and it's surprisingly artful for graffiti. What he has here on the corner of his desk is "Beware the hamster killer" and two little hamsters on two sides of it that have their eyes X'd
Oh
out.
my gosh.
And it looks like he's about to go to another desk and like carve another desk while everyone is still kind of up in arms and distracted, and it's just class is weird right now.
Okay. All right, Lucian, this is how it's gonna go. Okay. I know that you stole Newell's box tops in order to get Star Student. I know that you also stole Miss Ackroyd's keys. So you're gonna tell me what I want to know, and then we're gonna keep that first secret between us for now.
I hate nerds. He slams down his book. It's Charlotte's Web,
Interesting.
but you notice the bookmark is like shiny.
Oh.
It's like got a little bit of holographic next to it.
Did he steal it for the bookmark? Okay.
He puts it down and he kind of gestures for you, and so you reach out and you pull it, and you're holding in your hand a holographic Lugia Pokemon card.
Oh my gosh.
And
Yes.
he says, I was gonna trade Freddy from the other class my holographic Charizard for his holographic Lugia, but I forgot to bring my holographic Charizard, but I wanted to have the holographic Lugia for I was playing with friends tonight. So basically he gives this long-winded explanation of why, and then eventually he says, so I went into Mr. Hawthorne's classroom because I knew that Freddy was going to be in music class.
No, that's I could definitely see that happening in the 4th grade. Wow. Pokemon, it gets intense. It gets intense.
Pokemon makes you do things you regret. To this day, I think I traded my brother's Entei for a Psyduck or something, and he still remembers that. I was like 5 or 6.
Okay. In the post show, I have a story about a holographic Lapras that I will share.
Ooh,
Okay.
those holographic cards. They're like the ring of Lord of the Rings. It's like it corrupts you.
Oh my gosh, right. Okay. Oh wow. Okay, okay. So you swipe the card, hit it in a book, but Miss Ackroyd caught you.
Yeah, I don't know why she needed her keys so bad. Like, I thought she just thought I was going to the bathroom. So I don't know what tipped her off, but I don't know why no one is talking about the real issue here.
Which is?
In Mr. Hawthorne's classroom, their hamster cage was empty.
I exhumed the body. Is the dead hamster the one with the white dot on its forehead?
It is actually.
Okay.
It is actually, but there's something curious here. Because as you hold it in your hands, you're like, it's actually really soft and really nice. And you put it gently down, and you look at your hands, and oh no, they're not sticky. They're not sticky.
Not sticky. There's no glue on the paw prints?
No, there's no glue anywhere on this
I was
hamster.
gonna check that earlier, but I didn't because oh my gosh, I should have done that. Lucian, I shove him out of the way. I'm booking it over to Mr. I mean, they're probably in the middle of class right now.
Yeah, I mean, do what you do.
Okay, wow. Is there anything else? Because I might be burning some bridges right here.
Hey, 4th grade, what is there to do besides burn
That's
bridges?
exact. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to ask. Oh, no.
You can always come back. It's not like you're going to be expelled.
Oh, worse, expelled. Okay. Yeah, so this body, it no glue marks on it. So was that not the hamster? Lucian, would you know the difference between Mr. Hawthorne's hamster and Miss Ackroyd's hamster?
They're all just hamsters. What do you mean?
Are they all the same color?
I think so. Yeah, they're hamster. I think that his hamster is called Jasper, and yeah, Jasper's the same color.
Jasper the hamster.
I don't know why that matters. both of the hamsters are dead.
Both of them are dead? How do you know?
I mean, if ours disappeared, then I'm sure that and ours disappeared and was dead, so I'm sure that theirs disappeared. That means it's dead. Use
Eh,
logic. I thought you were a detective.
all right, sir. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the trash can first and dig. Is there another hamster body in here?
This time you dig so thorough. You dig all the way to the bottom, and there's nothing there.
Okay.
Besides a lot of used tissues.
Oh.
It looks like someone like left a sandwich somewhere, and today was the day they finally decided to throw it away. It's bad down there. It's gnarly.
Okay. Well, I can wash my hands again. And then I am going to go to Mr. Hawthorne's classroom. I'm gonna just leave. I'll take a hall pass. I'm a good kid, but I'm
Okay.
not gonna ask
Yeah,
for it. I'm just gonna take it.
okay. So you notice that the hall passes they're hooked onto teacher's desk, and immediately next to it
Oh.
is that drawer where the keys were.
So that's how Lucian got the keys.
Very possibly. You take the hall pass, and due to the prevailing chaos, yeah, uh, across the hall, a little bit diagonal, is Mr. Hawthorne's classroom. Do you go in?
Yeah, I'm going into Mr. Hawthorne's room. Uh, he's probably teaching. But I explain. All right, no, I open the door. We have a hamster-related incident. I need to inspect your hamster immediately.
What the Nathan? Ah, you again. And it looks like all of Mr. Hawthorne's class are sitting in a circle around him. It looks like it's group reading time. And he's like, I really don't have time for this right now. I'm gonna need you to move. What's interesting is as he's talking, you spot the hamster cage and the hamster inside the hamster cage. Moving around.
A message from the curator. Alas, poor Hamlet, whom death befell, yet Jasper's still alive and well. Wheels are spinning, lies were told. How will this tragic day unfold?